Hi guys, and welcome to the Ace Tanker for the SU-85i. Now, I recently put out a review for this tank that wasn't very positive because I don't think this is a very good tank. And I've been getting some comments in the review basically stating I'm wrong and that it's quite a good tank or that I'm playing it all wrong. I know how to play the SU-85i, and I wasn't planning to release this video or even make it for another couple of weeks because I've got a lot of other stuff I need to do beforehand. But due to the fact that my channel's been growing recently, I've been getting more subscribers and a lot more views, probably because of these reviews. I just need to make a couple of things clear, and I'm kind of hoping that viewers searching for the SU-85i review and may have seen that will also end up seeing this SU-85i Ace Tanker. So I'm just going to clear the air and explain a few things before we begin. I know how to play tanks to their strengths, but that's not the point of the reviews. When I review a tank, I am going to look at its strengths, I'm going to look at its weaknesses. If you compare my two most recent reviews, for example, KV220, I spent a lot of time talking about its strengths because it has a lot of strengths, and I spent time talking about its weaknesses, but not as much time because it doesn't have very many weaknesses. With the SU-85i, this tank has very few strengths and a lot of weaknesses, so I ended up speaking more about the weaknesses than I did about its strengths, and therefore the review was very negative. My reviews are aimed at probably people wondering whether or not they need a Tier 5 premium. Is the SU-85i a good Tier 5 premium? And my opinion is no, because there are far better Tier 5 premiums you can buy with your money. If you want to get a Tier 5 premium, Churchill 3 is a far better tank. KV220, when it's on sale, is a far better tank. So it's all about choice. So I don't think the SU-85i is a very good premium, especially for a new player hoping to buy their first premium tank, or simply a player who isn't that experienced. It requires quite a bit of experience to play this tank to what few strengths it has. I also don't think it's a very good tank as a crew trainer for Russian crews, because the SU-12244 is superior in every way. It's higher tier, it does more damage, you get more XP with that tank, and it's just an all-round better tank than the SU-85i and has the same crew configuration. So if you're looking for a Russian TD crew trainer, then I said in the review that the SU-12244 was a better option. As a Tier 5 premium, I think there are a bunch of Tier 5 tanks out there that are better, and that's basically what my reviews are about. I also said in the review that you could have good games in this tank, but it's hard work. You've got to constantly be aware of the tank and its weaknesses in order to overcome them. And here we are on Redshire. It is a 57%, so fairly close game either side, and we are just going to go. So as I'm saying, I'm hoping that people who are watching the SU-85i review and aren't happy with the fact I'm pretty negative about the tank actually end up watching this video as well. Because I don't really want to re-record that review or any future reviews with a warning beforehand saying, A, this is just my opinion, and B, there are better options. But we've advanced. There's no point in me going down the zero line because, again, this tank has very poor armor, and I really want to get into a position where I can do a little bit of spotting and a little bit of support work in the middle. I plan to have shots north to the east and south from the position I'm going to be taking up. So there's a T1 Heavy here, and again my gun depression lets me down. I need to move forward, and plenty of time to aim, and there's our first kill. So again, I'm using the strengths of the tank, or well, I'm playing around the weaknesses, I should say. I pull back just in case I'd been spotted, but I wasn't. Now we're being capped, but we've got plenty of tanks approaching the cap, so I'm not too worried. T-34, and again I've got to move forward to get this gun down on target. Aim carefully, get the shot in, and the reload is pretty quick, and the alpha damage is okay. So unfortunately T-34 dies before I get a kill shot in. But again, we're playing very passively. I haven't been spotted. I've got a pretty good crew in this. They're now on their second skill. Churchill's advancing. Oh, do have hints, but I'm at the end of my gun arc. Need to readjust. Again, another problem with the tank. But we get a shot into the Churchill. Not sure if we hit him, but we do get him that time. And I don't think I'm going to get any more shots. So again, I'm a tier 5 in a tier 6 game, so I do need to be quite passive. And as a Russian TD, it has the usual decent camo rating, but it does lack that view range. So PZ-4H is advancing along the ridge. He's stopped behind a bush, that's good. I've got nothing to shoot at but his cupola. Trying to get a shot in. That one goes a little bit low. And second shot goes in for 185 damage. So I miss my kill shot before he gets into cover. No shots on the PZ SFL-4C. So yes, the DPM is good on this tank, providing you're in a situation to actually hit the enemy. So I've been spotted again, I've got to pull back, and there we go. I was actually pulling back down a slope, which enhanced the backward angle of my turret armor, and Chinokai just bounced, but I should have dropped off radar. So I'm going to move forward, see if I can get a shot in this Stug. I need to reverse, there we go, and kill number 2. But again, that got me spotted, so again I've got to pull back and stay safe. I don't have the hit points. So we've lost the entire southern flank. The zero line is dead. So I pull back further than usual. There's a T-49 spotting at the farmhouse in K7. So I want to try and support him while he's getting spots for me. I can't really spot these tanks for myself. So I go for a blind shot in the VK. Not sure if I hit him. But I do know that there are at least 3 enemy tanks down here. Chinokai, S-35CA, they were all spotted down here along with the VK. So they're probably advancing, so I move forward to try and get spots. Again, I don't have much view range. And there we go. T-49 does spot the S-35CA. Get one shot into him, plenty of time to line up my shot. And again, I pull back immediately. I'm in a position to get another shot in, but unfortunately the T-49 takes out the 35CA before I can get a shot in. VK pulls into cover before I manage to get a shot. So there's still a Chinokai and a PZ SFL-4C to my left. Not getting any shots on this VK. He needs to either retreat or advance. PZ SFL reappears. I don't have any shots. He's behind a house. But I was looking for the Chinokai. There's the Chinokai. So I've been spotted, but he's not looking at me. I aim as long as I can and only fire when his turret starts turning towards me. And again, I was spotted, so I pull back. The VK kills our T-49, unfortunately. And I don't think I'm going to be able to spot this VK. I really don't have the view range, even though I've got binocs and a half-decent crew in this tank now. I'm not very optimistic about spotting him. So I was going to go deal with the cap with the Dicker Max back there, but no need to. We've got 2 Hellcats dealing with it. And I somehow managed to spot the VK, and I'm debating whether or not to take a shot. And then when I finally decide to take a shot, he moves forward just as the shot is in the air, and I end up tracking him instead of hitting him. So that sucked. But there we go, took another blind shot in his general direction, so I spotted him first time. I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to spot him again. We're up to 868 damage I'm aware of, and 3 kills. So I spotted him from this position. He hasn't been respotted, so there are only 2 possibilities. He's either retreated behind the house again, or he's still sitting there and is not moving. The reason I spotted him first time is that he may have been moving, but if he's sitting still, then I'm not going to pick him up. My view range just isn't good enough. But yep, there he is. And we can pen the VK, no problem, even at that extreme angle. And Hellcat kills the VK, but we do get up to over 1,000 damage now. So there's just one enemy tank left, the Cromwell. There's a problem with the minimap. It's still showing last known enemy positions. I don't know why, but there is only one tank left. He hasn't been spotted, so there's a very good chance he's AFK. So I do go downhill. I do use this tank's speed to get over here. I mean, I'm only doing 29 kilometers an hour over this rough ground, but we're going to get there eventually. And there we go. So, Cromwell, not sure if I'm the one who spotted him, I probably did. But he's sitting still, it's a stationary target, and now we get to see the DPM of this gun. When you get a stationary target, you can just pump out shots. So, some pretty cheap damage and XP at the end on the Cromwell, but we did finish up with 4 kills and ended up doing 1,517 damage. So there you go, that was my mastery badge in the SU-85i, and we also picked up high caliber. We finished second on XP. Hellcat had a good game with 5 kills, but I out-DPM'd a Hellcat. So as much as I dislike this tank, yes, it does have DPM, providing you can actually hit the tanks you're shooting at. So 954, just 3 XP short of top, 4 kills and 1840 damage. I fired 20 shots, 15 were hits and 13 were penetrations. So the gun is not bad, but just that lack of gun depression combined with the slow aim time and the very, very poor gun arc makes it very difficult to use. It is not a very new player friendly tank. We did 125 or received 125 potential damage. I hate this, don't know about you guys. I wish it just said potential damage, but 125 potential damage. We ended up spotting 2 vehicles. Damaged 9 and destroyed 4, and managed to do 401 assistance damage. So again, it is possible to have good games if you play to the tank's strengths, but as I say, the SU-85i just doesn't have that many of them. I earned 46,000 credits for that game. I didn't fire any premium, and it is a decent credit earner, but I just think there are far, far better Tier 5 premium tanks you can spend your money on. And I think that the SU-122-44 and even the SU-100Y are far, far better crew trainers if you're looking for a Russian crew trainer for your Russian TDs. We are in 1431 base XP with a premium account. It wasn't my ×2. This was while I was gathering footage for the review. So yes, it is possible to have good games in this tank, but it is not easy. It's not a very inexperienced user-friendly tank. There are far, far better premium options. There are far, far better Russian premium TD options. And while it is cheap at only 10 euros, I just don't think the tank is worth it. I think there are far, far better tanks you can spend your money on. So hopefully, if you're watching this video, you've already seen or are going to see my SU-85i review, and you'll understand why I made the comments I did and why I came to the opinion I did. I just think it's not a good premium. I think there are better. I think you can do well in this tank, but I don't think it's an easy tank to play. It's just got too many downsides. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.